Hi guys, welcome back to another video. The first video that you watched, we talked about how to create a table. In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to add data to a table. So in this example, we'll show you how to use the item that shows you in the book how to use the values, and we'll show you how to do a different method. So we'll show you two different ways of utilizing this feature while adding data to a table. So this will be another DDL that we'll be creating. This one will be a little bit different. This one will be maybe like this one will be more related to a DML. And we talked about a DML, and it's basically a way to manipulate data. We're adding values to a data table. So for example, you have a DDL that you use to create a table, but now what we're going to do is we're going to manipulate the data, which would be the DML, to allow us to add values to that table. So let's go ahead and get started. Great, so now you should be able to see my screen hopefully. So we have a blank area for new query. So you just do your file, new query tab. And what we're going to do here is we have two columns or two tables that we created in the last video, course number and customer. So I'm going to do customer, and I'll show you how to add data to it, and we'll show you two different ways of doing it. Okay, so I'll start off, and I want to kind of do the same thing I did before. So I'm going to do we could kind of copy it from the last one, and then I'll do this. And so I want to keep this update every time. I'll put Jeff Seaman, date created. We'll put 9/23/18. We'll put date modified, which will be blank for now because we have nothing to talk about. And then we'll put description, and this description will be the DML to add values related to the DDL on this table. Okay, on the we'll say on this table, we'll just put it this way, and then we'll down here we'll put table name. So table name that this one will be customer. Actually, let's do this. What scheme? This would be the test schema, and actually you don't have to put schema because it could be relevant to any environment. So we'll just put table, and the table name is customer. All right. So let's go ahead and, don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, perfect. So I'm going to show you two different ways of doing this. So this right here would be method 1 out of the book. And this is how we do it. So we type in insert, and I'll talk about that in a second, what insert is and what it means. And then we'll put so insert, actually let's just kind of do it right now. So insert is a SQL terminology that allows us to add data you're inserting. So you're inserting something into a table. Now into is another command that you would use. You're saying that you're putting this information into a table. In this case right here, we need to add the database name or the schema, which is test dot and whatever the table name is. As you know, as soon as I hit dot, it references that, hey, these are the tables that are listed in your database. I'm gonna hit customer. Okay, I'm gonna hit enter, and I'm gonna do shift 9, hit enter, and shift 0. What that does is it builds me a shell of where my it's going to put the name of my fields in, which will be these guys down here. Now you notice customer number is the primary key, so we don't have to add anything to that, no value to that, only because it's already, if you remember, we set up an auto incrementer which automatically gets done for us. Okay, so I'm going to indent over here, and I'm going to type in my name, so it'll be last name. So you want to type in your field name, comma. Now you could do this, you could do it this way, like for example, so you prefer to have everything here like this. You could do everything across the line. I like to do it this way because it allows me to debug it. If I'm having problems with it and I enter too many values, I could easily debug it. So it's kind of my way of making it easy for myself. You'll figure out your own way. So then the next one would be first name. We want to put phone, and we want to put phone type. Okay, so these are the fields that we're adding to. So remember, anytime you use an insert, you always want to add only the fields that are going to be that you're going to be adding value to. But also remember this: even though you say you don't want to do a field, the only way that doesn't work is if the description. Remember how we built the DDL, and it was either a null or not null. If there's ever a time that it's a not null, you have to add a value to it no matter what. It's just a requirement. It's a constraint that's built on the database. Okay, so now the way that shows you in the book is I'm going to do values, and I'm going to do the same thing, shift 9 and shift 0, and then I'm going to add values up here in text. So in this case, I'm going to make some names up. I'm going to put Antonio Brown's name. So it's the same thing. It's Brown, comma. I'm going to do Antonio, comma. I'm going to do what type of, what's his phone number? I'm going to say 412-000-5000. Well, actually, if he had a phone number, it'd be 8484. All right. And then what's his phone type? I'll say this is his mobile. All right. So I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to take this out on purpose. Now, in order for me to run this, all I need to do is click this guy right here and executes it. If you notice down here, it blew up because there's a problem here. And the problem is I'm inserting 4 fields, but I have Brown, comma, which is tied to last name, which I should mention, if you want to insert data properly, make sure whatever value you enter ties to that field name, else you'll have values going into the wrong field. Then we have first name, which is Antonio. Okay, that's right. We have phone. We have this phone number. That's right. Phone type and mobile. Okay, so first debugging thing is we have 4 columns, 4 values. All right, so we're good there. So what's missing? All right, so let's look here. See, I took the comma off here. So what it's trying to do is trying to add 3 values to 4 types, and it doesn't know what to do. So I'm going to hit comma right here. And if I hit execute, it should turn green down here. So that tells me that we inserted 1 row into the table. So now you need to validate how to do that. You need to validate and say, oh, okay, did it really work? So what you do is you go up to the top. You're not seeing this. You'll want to do a new query tab. And you'll want to run that query. So what you could do is you could run a query against test customer. So if I hit copy, and I come up here and I could type in select. Select as a statement allows you to select anything. Select just means you want to view it. Shift and 8 is asterisk, means all. Give me everything, all the field names, okay? From means where is it originating from? And then we want to control V, which is our schema plus our table, and our execute button, and hit run. So now we do that, and look at this. Well, I had already added Bill Cowher before we did this, and I had already added Antonio Brown once before. So, but as you see here, we have a value. So Antonio was entered. So let's actually use a different name because I did this before him. So let's do, how do you spell Juju's name? That's a good one. I do not know how to spell Juju's name. Let me look up his. All right, Smith Schuster. I shouldn't do that. All right, so we'll just enter his last name. Well, we'll just enter his whole thing. So his last name is Smith Schuster, S-C-H-U-S. I have his jersey, so I should know this. And then his first name is Juju. Awesome name. And we'll say his number is, he's number 19. So we'll say 019, and then we'll say his number is 1919. And we'll keep it mobile too. So now if I want to click run right here, add it. And now if I run this code here, hit execute, pull everything from the customer. And now we have Juju Schuster. He's in our database, and now we selected him. Now if I only want to select certain things, and we'll talk about this in a different video. If I want to select last name, first name, that's it, and hit run, it will only pull that information. Also, if I had another query, so let's say we had that all query down here. So I'm going to do this right here real quick. And let's say that I did, like I said, this will be a different video, but just giving you an example. All right, not that one. All right. So now if I run this, they're both going to run. So I'm going to get 2 values. Well, actually, this one, it works a little bit different than most like SQL Server or whatever, Oracle run both. So if I want to just run this one right here, I can just highlight it and hit execute, and boom, it pulls it up. It pulls everything. If I want to see last name, first name, I can just highlight this, and that's the only query it runs. Okay. So the second method. So let's actually, I'm only going to copy this part right here. So let's copy this. I'm going to show you the second method. All right, so this is method number 2. I don't think this is in the book. All right, so we're still inserting to customer. We're going to use different values. So now I'm going to do a select statement instead. I'm going to come down here and do select, and then I'm going to do shift 9, enter, shift 0, and then I'm going to put values in there. Okay, so let's choose somebody else. So let's do all right, we'll go to a different sport. So I'll do Crosby, comma, Sydney. Actually, I think I spelled it wrong. Hope that's right. His phone we'll say is 412 068. I think it's 6868. I think that's his number. I don't know. Just throwing this out here. And then phone type we'll put home, since we don't have any home. All right, so now what we're doing is we're doing a select statement. So I could actually do this right here. I could just type this in and run it, and it should select all the values. Oh, actually didn't work because I have, oh, you know what? I don't need that right here. Forgot. Now if I run this right here, it pulls in those values, which they're not in a table. We're just doing a select statement. We're just hard coding the values. See, when you do a select statement, you don't have to do the parentheses like the values. And I could do is just highlight this right here, hit execute, and it says that it insert down here. So now I could come over here in my query and run everything, and I should have Mr. Crosby. There he is. He's in the table. So this is how you validate. First thing is you write your code right here. You do your insert script. Second is you validate to make sure everything that you insert exists. So it's called Q&A. So I'm going to save that as my DML. So let me find save as, save script as. Let's say insert values for customer table. And then like I said, I'll make it a DML this time and hit save. Should ask me if I want to use DML. Yes. And that's it. So that is video number 2, talking about how to add values to our customer table. Now I won't go through the other tables because I just want to give you a basic understanding how that works. Thanks for watching.